I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday morning to you all. Hope you all enjoyed your Thursday. I did not place any bets today. I actually was on camera for about 3 hours and 15 minutes recording college football stuff today. The reason I'm on the show is what happened to TV Jones. I don't know if you guys heard. Brewers fan called 911 because he wasn't given a free hamburger as a reward. This is a real article. That's not made up. No, in all seriousness, Trevor, I've had this YouTube channel for 5 years. I've never seen anybody meet up with somebody from the comments. Trevor met up with that girl Megan from the comments. I'm not joking. I am not joking. That's why he's not on the show. The girl Megan from the comments, where you're always like, he met up with her. So that's where TV Jones is right now. Hopefully not getting his skin peeled off.
I was going to say, I mean, I can't get mad. I can't hate on it because, like, I mean, I met you on the internet. I mean, obviously you're not a woman, so that's different, but I met you on the internet.
Oh, yeah. Most of the people I deal with on a day-to-day basis, I met on the internet. I don't know. She was saying some crazy stuff. Like,
that sounds like TV Jones's alley, though.
TV Jones is he's doing his thing.
Clearly, they both looked happy. So
I sent a video of the Brodzuka today.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he took her to a baseball.
He took her to the
Trevor, you are the fucking man. I love you.
You know what? We joke like Trevor would take a date to go get the Brodzuka, and he literally did. He took a girl to go to a Brewers game and get and receive from the Brodzuka. Like that, he literally did that. Someone goes, only a Brewers fan.
I'm so happy. That made me so happy.
So quick announcement for those that were asking. I started sending football bets for week 0 out, and the text message alerts. It's not. I decided to do away with the $5 additional a month. Whatever. It's going to cost me a little bit, but I think more people will sign up. So I think it'll be a wash. We'll see. But I started sending some bets out for college football. Now, it's not same as baseball. All the bets will be given out on this channel, but football's a little different in a sense that, I mean, sometimes I'll place a bet on Monday morning. We're not scheduled to talk about that game till Wednesday. So it's not like baseball where we're going to go through them all. Football is a little bit different because sometimes we're not. I'm talking about the games that my guests pick. So like sometimes I'll bet Georgia Tech and we're not talking about Georgia Tech until Wednesday night. So it's a little different. But yeah, when you go to sign up, just type in there's a spot to type in your phone number. Just type it in if you want to be added. And if you're already subscribed and want to be added, obviously, when you subscribe, you weren't given that option. Just send me a DM or an email, and I'll add you. So, yeah, we're up and running. I sent out some football bets. It's time. As far as baseball, I didn't look at a single game. I'm just hosting. I'm not even supposed to be on here. TV Jones is doing creepy shit. So,
they're gonna get married. Watch this shit.
Yeah, that's he met his wife in the comments of the Sox Network MLB show. This is a matchmaking service.
This channel just continues to get better and better. That
was the first. I thought he was trolling me. And then I was like, wait, that's really her? And he's like, yeah. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Good for you, TV Jones.
All right. First game out, Pirates, Cubs. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I did place a bet today. I placed one bet. I completely forgot. I placed one bet. It was Cubs money line, and I lost. So, Spoon, can you explain what's going on with your team?
They look terrible. Runners on second and third with no outs, and they get 3 strikeouts with the middle of the order due up. It's unexcusable. I don't know. It looks really bad out there right now. You can't really make any sort of excuse there. He came out, pitched a great game, came out in the 7th. He had some really hard hit balls hit off him, but they all went straight to gloves. I'm not trying to back this Cubs team tomorrow. I already took the under in this game, a 9.5 minus 122 on FanDuel.
Under, yeah. I mean, Braxton Ashcraft's been pretty good, and the Cubs just obviously can't hit.
Yeah, it would be under or pass for me. There's not a chance in hell I lay this price with the Cubs. So I do worry a little bit that we're not probably going to see Ashcraft for that long, and anything can happen. But at this, like you guys said, this Cubs offense just can't get out of their own way right now. So, and also not to mention the fact that Colin Ray has actually been pretty. He had a couple blow up starts, but I mean he's also had some really solid starts over his last 7 to 10. So I don't really worry about him too much, but. It would only be under for me. I didn't bet this game. I have like 6 or 7 bets, but not this one.
I bet Colin Ray in his last start, and he came through for me. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't have the sheets up. I can't remember.
St. Louis. He pitched 6 innings, 1 run against St. Louis, 4 2/3 against Baltimore. Milwaukee and Kansas City got him, but Boston, Minnesota, St. Louis, Houston, Pittsburgh pitched all well against.
All right, let's move on to the next one. I might not place any bets. I've been deep in college football mode. This is my first time looking.
I got one for you. I got one that I love that I'm going to tell you about later.
I'm assuming it's not in Brewers Reds because there's no lines open.
There is not, and it is not correct.
Either you guys have anything, or should we skip to the next one?
I would need a line to see what they're pricing. You never know what you're going to get Mizorowski priced at. You'll never see him at plus money again. But
Never again.
But how much juice are we going to have to lay? So, yeah, we'll see what it is.
All right, Spoon, anything here? Or do you want to just skip to the next one?
Yeah, I expect Mizorowski to pitch as well. He's going to be on a pitch limit, but I think it's a Milwaukee spot tomorrow there versus Nick Martinez.
All right, let's move on. Phillies, Nats, Zach Wheeler against Mackenzie Gore. Has Wheeler gotten his shit together yet? There was a few starts where he was getting barreled up.
I mean, just depends on how you look at it. I mean, Detroit, he had a home start against Detroit where it was pretty decent, 6 innings, 3 runs. I mean, depends on, what's decent to Zach Wheeler, I guess. I mean, that's 6 innings, 3 runs on 9 hits. The xFIP was 1.03. So, I mean, that's a really good start, at least on paper. The hard hit was up, but, and then Texas, 5 innings, 2 runs, nothing special, 3 walks, which is really not like Zach Wheeler. So I would expect him to clean that up this start. It would only be the Phillies or under. I don't know what to think of this Washington team. It's just I think that their numbers versus right-handed pitching are somewhat decent over the last month or so because they've hit up a couple guys. But at this point, Seth Lugo's pitching so bad that I don't even really consider that a positive for Washington. I mean he's just giving up runs to everybody. They got 2 off of Michael Wacha, which was decent, and then they hit up Justin Verlander, who we thought was going to get his shit together and clearly did not. So, and besides that, a lot of low-name guys pitched really well against them. So I don't really have any faith in this Washington offense, but Mackenzie Gore is like boom or bust right now. It's whether he pitches 6 innings of 1-run baseball or he gets absolutely throttled. So it's really hard for me to trust this Phillies team, especially versus left-handed pitching on the road. So, but I just think that there's too many variables in this game. It would be Philly or under or pass, but it's emphasis on the pass.
What do you think, Spoon?
Yeah, I agree with Toast. This is a tough game. Seeing 8s across the board with this Washington bullpen really tempts me just to that over. Best case, Mackenzie Gore comes out of this game giving up 2 runs over that 5-inning span, and Zach Wheeler has shown the ability to give up a few runs over the past month. So I lean to that over, but it's a pass for me. There's a lot of volatility involved with this one.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Somebody in the comments said Nats first 5. If you wanted to gamble a little bit at like plus 150 or whatever, I don't hate that. It's really tough to back this Washington offense. That's what. Yeah.
Rangers road favorites in Toronto. DeGrom against Bassett minus 120. Spoon, you like DeGrom to pitch well here? Is any status update on George Springer?
So he's playing in Buffalo, but I don't think he's going to be available for the first game of the series. I did not check on that yet. I believe he made his first start back today, so I wouldn't expect him to come up right away. But maybe tough dealing with injuries like that. Jacob deGrom, I do expect to pitch pretty well. Blue Jays right now have been struggling their last few games to score runs. I think this is a spot where he can come out and kind of fix right the ship here versus this Blue Jays lineup. But I'm not trying to bet on it, to be honest. Chris Bassett's also looked really decent. He's given up more runs to lefties, more power to lefties, and there's quite a few lefties in this lineup, top to bottom, highlighted by Corey Seager. This is a game that's ultimately a pass for me. I think it's a really low total for a park that's going to have a roof open tomorrow. I think that indicates both pitchers pitch well.
Toast?
Yeah, I really want to bet Texas personally. I think that this is a really cheap price with a really, really big starting pitching advantage. And I've said for a long time, I really like backing teams that looked terrible at home and then on their first game of this road trip. And that's one of the situations that we have here with Texas. I mean, I know that DeGrom hasn't looked sharp on his last 2 road starts, but he's just one of those guys that I trust to fix that. And like Spoon mentioned, this Blue Jays team, I mean, you take out the games against Colorado. I mean, it's not like they're absolutely killing the ball right now. And at the same time, I feel like and Spoon also mentioned this, that not Bassett should struggle against this Texas lineup with all those lefties in there. I mean, not to mention the fact that, I mean, guys like Wyatt Langford's a righty, Josh Jung's a righty. Both those guys have hit pretty big home runs in the last week or so. So I trust, I don't want to say I trust this Rangers lineup, but I trust them to get to Chris Bassett or at least make life hard for him. This number has kind of ticked down since I looked at it last. It was like 121 or 122 open and down to 118. I just want to watch this because if people are going to bet up Toronto, I'm going to let them and try to come in on the other side on the Rangers. I kind of like the Rangers tomorrow a lot. Toronto also used a couple of their guys in the bullpen today. I don't think it's anything crazy, but again, there's enough little things for me to kind of like Texas tomorrow.
You said the roof's probably going to be open, Spoon?
Yeah, there's no chance for precipitation, whether in the 80s, low 80s, I believe. So I don't see any reason they would close this roof. It's a really kind of alarming total for me, and that's why I said I think it indicates both pitchers pitch well. Normally, roof opening lines are full run higher than this, and I mean DeGrom hasn't been elite his last few starts, like 3 earned runs, 5 earned runs, 5 earned runs in his last 3. That I hate to say the line's telling, but it indicates to me that they don't expect these pitchers to get hit up tomorrow.
Well, it could be because of the Texas offensive number. I mean, these are so bad.
Yeah, they've been terrible.
That's Alabama, Florida State. In the last 30 days, they're the worst lineup in baseball. So maybe that's why it could explain the lower total. But all right, let's move on. Mariners, Mets. Man, what is going on with this ball club? It's a bad team, man.
Oh, now they're bad.
I didn't watch any of it, but I saw they lost again. The Mets just cannot win a baseball game.
Yeah. The bullpen, like Halsey, hasn't been great. I mean, there's a lot of things you could talk about.
I feel like all the buyers at the bullpen haven't really gotten their money's worth from the arms they got yet.
Well, there's one team out west that looks pretty damn good with Mason Miller in that bullpen. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. All that being said, I'll just start this off because I don't have any past issues. I haven't been betting the Mets or anything like that. Mets first 5 might be my favorite play tomorrow. First 5 on the money line, minus 115. I know Manaea hasn't looked great his last 2 starts. He had a bad home start against Cleveland, is what it is. It was sooner or later he wasn't going to pitch good. And then he gave up 4 runs on the road against an absolute juggernaut right now against Milwaukee. And they've been smashing left-handed pitching. But now he's going to be facing a Mariners team at home that hasn't been hitting left-handed pitching well at all. I mean, Trevor Rogers pitched well against him. Jeffrey Springs, JP Sears, Tyler Anderson. It was only 4 2/3. But it was only 2 runs on 6 hits. And as our friend TV Jones always says, Tyler Anderson rolls out of bed and gives up 3 or 4. So if he only gives up 2, that's not a great outing for the Seattle offense. So Kikuchi, Brandon Walter, Dietrich Hines has their number for both 2 different teams that he's played for this year. So they got to Skubal earlier. That was almost a month ago, but this team hasn't been doing anything versus left-handed pitching. I really think that Manaea can pitch well here tomorrow. And then we have Castillo in the ultimate spots that we want him in, on the road versus a team that can stack multiple lefties against him. Lindor, Soto, Nimmo, McNeil, Mullins, Beatty, all going to bat from the left-hand side. I mean, you're going to have, 2-3 righties in that righties in that lineup tomorrow for the Mets. And they've also absolutely destroyed the last 3 righties starters that they faced. Now, one of them was Carlos Carrasco. He's absolutely terrible, but it is what it is. Spencer Strider, I mean, he's a pretty decent name. I mean, I understand that he's not the same Spencer Strider that he once was, but that's still a pretty decent name. Quinn Priester, he's been pretty good for a pretty decent team. They destroyed him. I mean, they got 3 runs off in 3 1/3 innings off of Tobias Myers as well. So Woodruff and Gavin Williams pitched really well against them, and both of those guys are pitching extremely well. On top of all of that, Castillo really hasn't been great on the road. He pitched well against Oakland, but I mean, Detroit got 3 runs off of him in 5 innings. Texas, Texas 1 run, that wasn't great, but Minnesota with 5. I mean, his road ERA is north of 4.5 this year. So it's same with the xFIP. So he hasn't been great on the road. The Mets have been good versus right-handed pitching. So I know the comments are going to say, you can't trust New York sports. Da, 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 da. I think this is a fantastic spot for the Mets tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know what are the Mets? They're 2-7, 2-9, or whatever in their last 11, whatever it is. I bet you if you only look at their record in the first 5, it wouldn't be that bad because they've blown a lot of leads in there.
Probably not. Yeah,
I've seen a lot of blown leads in there. So maybe Mets first 5 is a hidden gem. Spoon,
and
what do you think?
I think Helsley's back-to-back days. Not that you want to see him in the game, but I think there is a couple question marks. But anyway,
I was kind of looking at this over. I mean, everything you said about the Mets just getting to right-handed pitchers recently, like they've been crushing last 4 or 5 guys they've seen. And Luis Castillo struggles with lefties, and that's a lot of the major bats here for the New York Mets tomorrow. But Sean Manaea, he just is a 2-pitch guy. I think this is a better lineup than what the spreadsheet really reflects with the Mariners right now, and I expect that to kind of turn around at some point. I don't have a ton of faith in Sean Manaea right now. He came out and showed us a few good starts, but back-to-back bad starts here. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Mariners hit him leave in 4 innings, and then you have to go through this shaky Mets bullpen right now. Just as you guys were talking about, they blowed a lot of late leads. I think an over 8 with a little bit of juice is worth it. Over 8.5 looking at it, but it's just a lean right now.
Let's move on to the next game, which is Braves Guardians in Cleveland. Cantillo against Fedde. ugly matchup here. Huge. Spoon, any thoughts about this one?
So it's actually going to be Hurston Waldrop starting, not Fedde.
Okay.
So that's an important note. Kind of looking at his splits in the minor leagues recently. He's made 2 starts in the majors this year, and he's looked really good in both of them. 5.2 innings versus the Cincinnati Reds, just 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. And then versus the Miami Marlins, he went 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, just 1 earned run again. So those look really good. But if we expand this, looking at the minors, he's got a 1.59 whip to lefties and a 1.4 whip to righties. Just watching him, he's got a really nasty split, but his arm angle, 56 degrees, it comes right over the top kind of delivery. I don't think it's going to continue to look this good in the major leagues. If the minor league bats were able to lay off that splitter and find a different pitch to hit, I think the major league bats will start to do that as well. This is a spot where I already bet that over 8.5. You also add back Ronald Acuna in this Atlanta lineup tomorrow. I just think there's a lot of spots to get runs. I don't expect Waldrop to come out there and have another good game. I don't really trust that bullpen that much right now. And then the Guardians versus Cantillo on the other side. Struggles with lefties, 1.64 whip. That's all the important bats for the Braves. This is an over spot.
So that graphic says over 9, but you can still get a juiced 8.5 out there if you look. So make sure you line shop. Toast.
Yeah, I don't hate that. It would only be Cleveland or pass for me. I'm not going to bet it because Atlanta has been kind of heating up lately. I mean, they've just been more than feasible, I guess. And they've actually been pretty damn decent versus left-handed pitching. But Cleveland has pitched really well, or has played pretty well with Cantillo on the mound, especially at home. I mean, nothing crazy good, but I mean, Cleveland is still one of these teams that are played extremely well over the past 2 months now, almost, if not more. So, but over the last 30 games, 21-9 their last 30, 7-3 their last 10. I mean, again, they've been playing extremely well. So I will say they haven't really been playing great competition either. Minnesota, the White Sox, Miami, the Mets. I mean, I know the Mets are good, but they're not playing well right now. So I don't know. Miami's starting to play well enough that I'm not going to bet it, but it would only be Cleveland for me.
Let's move on to the next game, which is Marlins Red Sox. Your boy, Toast, Giolito. You still trust him?
I do trust him. Under 9 is the bet for me in this game. I did actually place this bet as well. So I continue to stay on the train for Lucas Giolito. I think that we're really underestimating him. Did he pitch well or bad in his last time out? Yeah, but honestly, I do think at this point we can start saying that the San Diego offense is something to worry about. I've been kind of waiting, but anyway, but besides that, I mean, he had been pretty good. I mean, again, a couple rough starts here and there, but over his last 12 starts, I mean, he's been very, very good. So I know that Miami has looked, especially their numbers look really good versus right-handed pitching, but they got Gavin Williams, which was one of my favorite plays 2 days ago or whatever, off of his damn near no-hitter, and they got 4 runs off of him after he threw like 120 pitches. I mean, obviously he was going to give it up that day. They got to Eric Fetty, Bryce Elder, Carlos Carrasco, Spencer Arrighetti. I think that was his first start back in a year or whatever it was. And Jason Alexander pitched well against them. They got runs off of Luis Gil. All those guys are either AAA guys or guys that are 40 years old and shouldn't be in the league. I mean, they haven't faced a guy that's an actual major league starter from the right-hand side in a long time. So again, there's bullpen guys or whatever, but regardless, Giolito should pitch well. And this Boston team's coming home from a West Coast road trip. I know that Sandy's just been getting absolutely tattooed, but this Boston team really hasn't been destroying right-handed pitching. Again, there has been some decent names on that list, but coming home from the West Coast, as Miami has everybody available in their bullpen. Even if Sandy gives up 4 or 5, I truly believe this game. I don't think Miami scores more than 2 or 3. I truly believe this game is probably 4-2 Boston or something like that. But anyway, under 9.
Spoon, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Sandy Alcantara's the big question mark for me in this game. How will he pitch versus Boston? Struggling versus both sides of the plates, but giving up more power to lefties. Boston does have 4 or 5 decent lefty bats that they're going to stack there at the top of the order. I know they haven't gotten to a lot of righties lately, and I really want to back Alcantara here. If I was going to do the fish, it'd probably have to be a first 5, but Lucas Giolito on the other side, just as Toast said, he's at a different caliber of pitcher than anybody they've seen recently, and I think he can probably pitch well. I don't hate that under. I'm probably going to just pass on this game altogether.
All right, Marlins first 5 or pass. Let's go ahead and move on to the next game, which is Detroit, Minnesota. Still no lines here, so I'm assuming we're just going to skip to White Sox, Kansas City. Savale against Noah Cameron. Royals sitting at -190. Spoon, what do you think?
So the White Sox versus the left-handed pitching had been something we've been looking at for a while now, but the last few starts, 1 earned run off Cantillo, 4 earned runs off Anderson, 0 earned runs off Luzardo. I don't know if they're going to continue to keep hitting lefties. I like Noah Cameron, but just 1 good start there from Luzardo. The numbers don't look as good on the spreadsheet, but I mean, before that, they've been tattooing really good lefties like Sanchez, Imanaga. I think they probably have it in them to get to Cameron, and I think it's too much of a price to pay, but you have Aaron Savale on the other side, and this is a pitcher I'd really love to fade. 9 earned runs in his last start, 8 hits, 2 walks, but before that, he'd gone 3 starts in a row without giving up an earned run. So there's a lot of volatility involved with this. I think it's too big of a price to pay with Kansas City right now, especially with the way that White Sox have been hitting lefties. Another game where I just lean to the over.
Over pass, Toast.
Yeah, I want to play the over as well. I don't know if I could actually do it at 9. I was kind of hoping for an 8.5, but I mean, I will say just the White Sox versus lefties. I don't know if it's completely dead. I mean, for me, this quote unquote system is just playing the over when that happens, because you still get the possibility of that White Sox bullpen to give it up. But I mean, after Luzardo, where they got 0 on that list, they also put 4 off of Christopher Sanchez, 7 off of Shota Imanaga, who are also decent lefties. So I'm not there to say that it's actually dead yet, but it's very close. I will say that, because Tyler Anderson is not a guy that I want to back. But first of all, I don't love the Kansas City offense enough to play a total at 9 either. But I know this have always been bad, but I don't know, man. I mean, has it really been that bad? I mean, he got traded. There was a whole bunch of drama to go after that.
Bad.
I mean, I guess. I mean, 3 really good starts against Chicago, LA, and Pittsburgh. I mean, Cleveland 4, Toronto. I mean, both those teams are pretty decent, but pitched well against the Dodgers, pitched well against San Francisco, pitched well against Texas. I mean, it's not all bad. The numbers are bad because when he gets hit, but I don't believe that resume is as bad as it looks. I can't play the over. I really want to, but I actually lean White Sox too. I don't know if I can actually do it.
I agree with that White Sox lean. At that price, you can't lay it with Kansas City.
Agreed.
Baltimore, Houston, Framber, he's pitched well in Houston all year. Any reason that changes here, Toast?
No. Shout out to Huz for giving me a Baltimore money line today.
You tailed the Huz?
Well, he told me that Seattle was free at -118, and I said, "Oh yeah, must have been."
For those of you that don't know Huz, the reason that's funny is he's a psychotic German man or child, or I don't know how old he is actually. That's in the Discord. All right. Anyway, go ahead, Framber.
Baltimore first 5 team total under 1.5. I did bet this as well. It's one of my bets. Like Kyle said, Framber at home is a completely different animal. Let's just go his last 5 home starts: 0.90 ERA, 1.07 WHIP, 1.84 xFIP. Teams like Washington, Texas, the Cubs, Philadelphia, and the White Sox. And the White Sox, as we know, can hit left-handed pitching. This Baltimore team cannot. I know that they have put up some crooked numbers recently, but Ranger Suarez is not a guy that's pitching really well right now. Jesus Luzardo has been kind of hit or miss lately. I mean, and he went 6 innings, and Ranger Suarez went 6 1/3. Matthew Boyd went 7 innings, shutty. Easton Lucas, I mean, they got to Easton Lucas, who cares? Eric Lauer for 2. Gomber, Freeland, they got 2. But besides that, I mean, it really hasn't been pretty for this Baltimore offense. And like I said, Framber at home has been absolutely fantastic. And Baltimore has to travel in here tomorrow. Framber's off of 2 really bad starts for him, giving up 4 and 5 runs to Boston and New York. Both of those starts on the road. I think this is a very, very good spot for him to get right. I want nothing to do with that Houston offense. I wouldn't be surprised if Brandon Young pitched well tomorrow. But I think that I just want to get all of Framber as much as I can. So Baltimore team total under.
Is that the real Eric Lindquist in the comments, or is that somebody that used this picture? I can't tell. I think Lindy's in the comments. What's up, man? If that's really you.
If it is.
Or some imposter. Spoon, any reason to think Framber doesn't pitch well here?
So looking at those last 2 starts, also versus AL East teams in Boston and New York, victim of 2 really bad innings that just kind of got away from him. You're due for a few of those every Framber season. He always looks really good at home, though, and both of those starts came on the road. I think he gets back to his old ways here. Toast just broke down all the home starts. It's hard to be more impressive than that. Brendan Young on the other side, 1.91 whip to lefties, 5.08 xFIP. That's not what you have to worry about with this Houston lineup. It's mostly righty bats in there. You'll generally see 7 or 8 of them stacked in there, and the xFIP drops all the way down to 3.72. So I have a really hard time trying to back Houston's offense here either. I was looking at an under in this game. I just wonder maybe Houston can put a couple crooked innings up on Brandon Young, and I don't have a ton of faith in that Baltimore bullpen, but the under is the only way I could really look at this game. I think it's way too big of a price to play on Houston. If I was going to take a side, you can get plus 200 with Baltimore. Just the way Framber's recent form has been, I think there's a little value there. Maybe something's not quite right that just hasn't really shown itself all the way, but I like the under.
So confirmed, that is Lindy in the comments. What's up, man? Hope all is well. Long time. Haven't chatted with Lindy in like a month. Hope all is well. He said his wife's at dinner. Finally gets to tune in. And someone said, "What's wrong, Sauce? You seem bothered." No, not bothered. I was just on camera for about 3.5 hours recording a college football thing. I wasn't supposed to be on, and then Trevor bailed last minute to hang out with a girl from the comments. So I'm just tired because I was on camera for legitimately 3.5 straight hours right before this, so I was pretty burnt out, and then found out last minute I was hosting the show. So Yankees Cards up next. Toast, I saw you had it was a first 5 under in this one.
I did. First 5 under 5 at minus 115 for me. Obviously Aaron Judge is back, yada, yada, yada. But this Yankees offense hasn't done anything for a while now with or without him. And on top of, excuse me. And on top of that, they have a lot of lefty bats in that lineup, and Palante is pretty decent versus lefty bats. I really have a hard time believing that the Yankees just destroyed Palante. I mean, he hasn't been terrible. I mean, again, a couple blowups here and there, but I mean, it hasn't been absolutely terrible. I'm not trying to make a case that I'm trying to back him all the time, but in the context of facing this Yankees team against right-handed pitching, who hasn't been doing anything versus anybody. Joe Ryan's decent, sure, but Sebi Matthews, Jason Alexander, Hunter Brown, sure, Jack Leiter, Evaldi, John Gray, Cabrera, Jansen Junk. I mean, I'm just not there with this Yankees offense right now, especially on the road out of that Yankee Stadium. And then Heel, I just not a guy I'm trying to back all the time. But again, this Cardinals offense is doing absolutely nothing right now. And sooner or later, this kid's going to pitch well. And again, his home start versus Houston wasn't bad. 6 hits and a walk over 5 1/3 and 2 runs versus a Houston team that was playing well at a time. So I think that he can continue to pitch well here as long as he doesn't get shelled. I think we're 5. I don't understand why this total's so high. I get that the weather's great, but neither one of these offenses has been doing really anything lately. I mean, and really quickly, the Cardinals offense, Dollander, Colin Ray, Ohtani, Sheehan, Glasnow, Cease, Randy Vasquez, the GOAT, Cal Quantrill, Sandy Alcantara, all blank this team. There is 0s and 1s up and down this list versus right-handed starters. So if both these teams happen to explode, so be it. But I thought that 5 was ridiculous.
I just hope you know your credibility takes a hit every time you refer to Randy Vasquez as the GOAT.
That's fine.
I will say, as far as an under goes, I don't have the data in front of me. I'm going to look how Cardinals home games have done. I feel like I have a really good hit rate. I've had a lot of success playing unders in this ballpark this year. I don't know if it's been an unders park or not. I feel like I've had success. Looking it up right now. Cardinals, and no, they're actually towards the that's weird. I would not have guessed that. They're towards the top of they're towards the over. A little above average towards the over. Surprised by that because I feel like I've had success playing unders here. 60 and 55.
That doesn't mean you haven't.
No. I'm sure I have. I also expected that it's 60 and 55 to the over, so pretty much dead even. Spoon, your thoughts?
Yeah, so looking at this Cardinals lineup, they're not a super disciplined team where they draw a ton of walks versus starters. If you look back versus the last 10, 8 of them have had 2 walks or less, and Luis Gil in the minors right before he came up looked like he had some control problems, then immediately came up, walked 4 guys versus Miami. Then he faced a more disciplined Houston lineup, in my opinion, only gave up 1 walk. I think there's a lot of good signs in that second start, and I think we can start to back Luis Gil here. I have a lean to the Yankees money line here at minus 130. It's not something I've bet yet, but I don't have a ton of faith in Andre Palante. I know the Yankees have not been getting to righties, but I think this is just a spot where they're able to get a few runs off him. He looks like he pitches really well to lefties, but the Cubs pretty lefty heavy lineup at this point, 6 earned runs off him. Arizona, pretty lefty lineup, 5 earned runs off him. Washington, heavy lefty lineup, 7 earned runs off him. So I don't make too much of the Yankees' best bats being lefties, and you do still have Judge in there. So I think this is a spot where the Yankees can get enough runs. It just comes down to their bullpen versus this Cardinals lineup for me. And I know there's a lot of hate for Devin Williams right now, but I think there's some really good arms in that back end of the pen now. I think they're going to come around. Minus 130 is not too much to pay. It's something I'm looking at.
Mark, that's a good question. Toast, you probably remember this. Mark asked, is Megan the girl that was in love with Modi? Is that the same girl that Trevor?
Oh, I thought that was Cassie.
That was Cassie. It was definitely Cassie. You have good memory, dude. Well, yeah, different girl. Or maybe the same girl with a different name. Depending
on my wife is pissed off at me. How do I remember that?
How do you? No, the different girl, or at least different name. TV Jones. There's still, because not everyone's watching it live. Some people are 10 minutes behind, and there's still people flooding in the comments like, dude met a chick from the comments.
Dude, the best one, I had to put my mute on mic when I wrote Megan's gonna be in the background at TV Jones's camera tomorrow.
All right, we're in quiz field. Brandon Pfaadt, Toast's favorite pitcher. Spoon, do you share Toast's sentiment that Brandon Pfaadt is not a big league pitcher?
I wouldn't go that far, but I'm not trying to back him tomorrow. 11 hits versus Colorado is just a week ago. 11 hits versus a Detroit lineup that was slumping at the time. This isn't a guy that's pitching to the best of his abilities. I think in the future he has a career still. It's tough pitching over there in Chase Field. I don't make too much of a bad season. He's still a young pitcher with a bunch of potential, but when you see a lineup this close together, a lot of times you look for that zigzag effect, but we're talking about Coors Field. It's so easy to get hits here, and if you were able to get 11 off him there and Chase, I think this is a spot where the Colorado Rockies can score. I kind of peeked at their money line. Tanner Gordon has shown the ability to pitch pretty well in this park already. Pitched into the 7th inning versus Detroit, gave up 4 earned runs, but in Coors, that's a really good start. 6 innings versus the New York Yankees, just 2 earned runs. 6 innings versus St. Louis, 0 earned runs. But if we look at that last home start versus Toronto, a much better lineup, 7 earned runs, 11 hits, and then he just saw this Arizona team. So I see this 11.5 on the board with FanDuel. I already bet it minus 110. I took the over. I think both of these lineups can get some runs tomorrow. It's a spot I like.
Toast?
100% agree. Not the hate of Brandon Pfaadt. I actually agree with Spoon. He signed a contract with Arizona. He's going to pitch to that 5 ERA that he has for the next 3 or 4 years. I 100% agree with that. There is no argument for me there.
He might be better than 5, dude.
Well, hopefully some year he'll show it, because I'm just waiting. So someday. But anyway, like Spoon said, he's been hit kind of hard. I mean, I'm not going to bet this just because I don't really like betting these matchups where they just see the pitcher and stuff. And like Spoon said, Tanner Gordon has actually been decent at Coors at times. And I don't really think that the 3 starts where his last 3 starts where he's been absolutely tattooed versus Toronto, a team that's been pretty damn hot, Arizona, a team that's very hot, even though that we're not a team that we don't think of because they sold everybody over the last 30 days. Arizona is a top 6 lineup versus right-handed pitching. So maybe not so much on the road, but over the last 14 days, they're 5th and left on the road versus right-handed pitching. So I just don't understand how you go under in this game. I guess there's only ways to runs here for me. So, but neither one of these bullpens can be trusted. On top of that, so yeah. And the Rockies versus right-handed pitching is like middle of the pack. It's not even like lower third. And at home, they're like top 10. So over.
Yeah, I said over a pass. In fact, I almost bet the over in this one. Obviously, it wouldn't have hit. Only 10. But next up, Eduardo Rodriguez really pitched well in Coors Field.
He did.
We got to pick them. Angels, A's in Sacramento. Toast, Kikuchi, or Perkins?
I don't know. This it would. I don't know, man. This one's really hard for me. I don't really trust Kikuchi like that especially on the road, and he really struggles with righty bats, and they're going to see a shoot ton of righty bats from Oakland tomorrow. I think you're only see 2 lefties in the lineup, Kurtz and Soderstrom, right? So it would only be our Athletics for me, or a team total or something. But the Athletics have really good numbers versus left-handed pitching, top 10 the whole season, top 5 the last 30 days or more. They've been good at home, or they haven't really been good at home. That's the issue. And it's just really hard to trust this team. They're so up and down. I feel like Sauce cursed me with this A's team early in the year, because they just pooped down their leg, it seems like, this whole year. So I haven't been able to get a read on this team. I'm not going to pretend like I know a lot about Jack Perkins, but this Angels team is just so hit or miss as well. I think this line's telling. I'm pretty sure this line opened a little bit higher too, and the Angels Oakland already took money, or Sacramento, but it would only be the A's for me.
Spoon?
Yeah, I agree. I have a lean to the A's. I'd really like Jacob Wilson to be back in this lineup. He just started his rehab assignment. He's obviously missing from the top of that order, and that's a really big hole. That kid's been hitting the ball extremely well this year. Jack Perkins got some really nice stuff. He can hit 98 with that fastball. He's got a really nice sweeper and cutter. So far in the major leagues, it looks like, if you just glance at his whip, that he struggles more with righties than lefties. But in the minors this season and last season, lefties have gotten to him much harder. So I think that's a pretty good matchup for him when you look at an Angels team that only has one true lefty in it. I think Jack Perkins comes out there and gives you 4 or 5 really good innings. It's tough to really want to trust this Athletics bullpen, and that's why I haven't bet it yet. But I don't really want to try to back the Angels in any fashion tomorrow. You say Kikuchi. Toast already hit at it. There's going to be a ton of righties in this Athletics lineup. I expect him to score runs off him.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Both of you like the A's. I was trying to tell you guys, well, not you guys, as in you two. So I was trying to tell everyone Kikuchi's not that good. No one wanted to listen. I feel like we haven't seen these two teams play in months.
It's about to go down.
Is this a big series? Is this circled, Toast?
Is this circled?
No. We're just going to keep on playing baseball.
So it's not circled?
Nope. We don't circle games.
If I went and interviewed the players on the Padres, would they say, yes, this is circled?
No.
I bet you if I turned on Padres radio, they're talking as if it's circled.
Nope. No need.
Dodgers money line. I've decided to place a bet. I haven't looked at anything.
That's so sharp.
I agree. Dodgers money line.
All right. So, I'm not going to be Padres homer or anything like that, but come on, guys. Seriously, though, I really don't know. This line's kind of weird to me. So first thing we asked with Randy, how many lefty bats in the lineup? We all know that. That's Ohtani, Freeman, Muncy, Conforto, and Freeland. Is Muncy good to go? He's day to day, right? So that's kind of I do think that Muncy's a big question mark if he plays or not. I would assume if he can, he will, being this big of a series, but I don't know how the extent of his injury. But if he doesn't play, that is huge with Randy on the mound. So my question is, I don't know if Randy actually starts. There is chatter on that San Diego radio that Sauce was talking about that maybe Wandy Peralta, who's pretty good versus lefties, or David Morgan, who's been an absolute stud out of the Padres bullpen coming up this year. Maybe they open for him to take the load off of Randy and those first few lefties in that lineup with Ohtani and Freeman, and then have Randy come in and pitch his 4 innings like he usually does. And then we can deal with whoever comes out of the bullpen with all the major arms because they're rested. So I kind of want some more information, but I don't see how you don't bet the Padres here, to be dead honest with you guys. Again, take the fan out of it. Kershaw has been decent his last couple starts. I will give you that. But he really doesn't have good history against this Padres team. The last couple starts against them haven't been great at home or on the road in the playoffs, in the regular season. It doesn't matter. A lot of these guys have decent numbers against him as well. They've seen him extremely well. And like I've been saying for months now, the Dodgers do not have a bullpen. I've been trying to tell you guys. Some people listened. A lot of people didn't. But I'm telling you guys, they don't have anybody to close games. They have nobody they can trust. Alex Vesia is not a major league closer on a playoff team, not a World Series type of team that the Dodgers expect. Like, let's get real here, people. So anyway, the Padres have the advantage, I think, in all three phases of this game. Starting pitching, because like I said, I think they're going to go with the opener status. If that's the case, they'll have the pitching advantage and the offense advantage, and by far the bullpen advantage. So it would only be the Padres. Let the world bet up the Dodgers.
We're polling over 60% Padres. So the world is on San Diego. Spoon, want to bet the Dodgers with me?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't actually bet the Dodgers right now, and they
No,
took
you
it
should.
off the board.
Do it with Sauce.
No, I'm saying like there's no lines available.
You can do it on FanDuel, I think.
Oh no, I don't
No,
see
it was
any
up for
lines.
just a little bit. They immediately took it
off?
down. I glanced at it because when I saw that Vasquez was starting it, I wanted to look at that total over and the Dodgers money line, to be honest. Just the amount of lefties in that lineup, I expect there to be runs off him. On the opposite side, the Padres versus left-handed pitching, who have they gotten runs off of recently? They just got 4 off Robbie Ray, but in the last 8 starts, going back over a month now, they haven't gotten more than 3 runs off anybody besides Mackenzie Gore and that 1 start versus Robbie Ray. That includes aces like Matthew Liberatore, Sean Manaea, Liberatore again, Mitchell Parker. So these aren't necessarily the best names. I know Kershaw's not his Cy Young capability that he had 10 years ago, but I think he's still serviceable out there on the mound. But at the same time, Padres have some bats that can get to him. He's been struggling with lefties this year with those reverse splits. Without like a market really available for this, it's hard to place a bet or say I'm going to place a bet. But I think if you could still get that minus 138, I would like the Dodgers, and I'd also like that over 8.5.
Good pick.
I'm not worried.
Yeah, I'm sure San Diego sports radio is just completely relaxed.
I mean, we're not relaxed, but
Of course
as
not.
far as
You guys are nervous
Petty.
wrecks because you already know what's about to happen in this season.
Nervous.
Yes.
I'm excited. You didn't see me. I became a TikTok star overnight just
Yeah,
because
I
of your
can't believe you posted.
I made my own.
You made a TikTok?
No, of course not.
You posted a selfie video on Twitter, which is just as embarrassing.
It felt great. I'm not gonna lie.
Rays Giants. Spoon, Landon Rupp, Joe Boyle.
So Rupp is coming back from shoulder inflammation. He pitched 1 game in the minors, had a 50 pitch count hard limit in that game. So I question how many pitches he's really going to be available for in this game. I don't think they're going to try to build him up too quickly, especially with elbow inflammation. That's generally not the injury. Like generally that's a symptom of something bigger. And just looking at Rupp, what he's done in the majors this year, I'd like to back him here, but sometimes just like a race car, like it runs really good right before it breaks, and I don't know that his elbow's right. Obviously they have the confidence to bring him up, so we should maybe read something into that. But Joe Boyle, looking at his last start, just absolutely no control out there, just walking everybody. I don't know that I really want to back him either. Every part of me wants to just back the Giants, lay the juice with it. But with a pitcher like that, I don't think I'm actually going to do it. There's too many question marks surrounding that elbow.
Toast.
I've given Landon Rupp a really hard time because he was in competition with Hayden Birdsong, so it was kind of fun. But before he got hurt, he was pitching extremely well. So I 100% agree with Spoon, though. It's really hard to trust him in this spot, especially laying this juice. It would only be Tampa for me. I'm not betting this, but I mean, if you look at this, I mean, I don't understand how you can lay juice with this San Francisco team. Obviously, the Padres are playing hot, but you scored 3 runs against a division opponent. And again, I mean, they scored 7 runs in 3 games against the Nationals. I mean, it's just been really, really bad. And all those games were at home. So, and this game's at home too. But I mean, Joe Boyle's been hit or miss at times, and the misses have all been on the road. But the misses are the Yankees and the Mariners, 2 teams that Yankees, I mean, they haven't been great, but they're capable. They're more than capable. They're a lot more talented than this San Francisco offense. And Seattle offense was hitting pretty well at their last homestand as well. So I have a hard time believing that Joe Boyle gets absolutely destroyed by this San Francisco offense. So, and Tampa Bay actually has somewhat decent arms in their bullpen. I just trust them everywhere besides, I mean, I think both offenses are terrible, but I trust the Rays much more than I trust San Francisco right now. So it would only be the Rays at plus money. You can't lay juice with the Giants.
All right. Guys, I'll talk to you later. You guys can leave. I'll show you real quick. For those of you that wanted to talk to you guys later. For those of you that wanted to sign up for the thing, I know people were asking me to let them know when it was up and running. So you go up here to Sauce Network Plus, and then choose whatever plans and pricing. And then when you sign up, it gives you a spot to plug in your phone number, and you do that. But just to show you some of the stuff for this year, some really cool stuff. So this is the same stuff as last year, quarterbacks versus pressure, blitz rate, stuff like that. I have this broken down by weeks now. So we can keep track of blitz rate by week. Some teams start blitzing later in the season, stuff like that. Also have some cool stuff. Where's some new stuff? Success rate by game log. That's not new though. That's new to you guys. I had it last year, but I didn't share it. So that'll be shared in the sheets. Rushing success rate for offense and defense. Also, I got coverage reports. Well, obviously the Steelers are a bad example. They always run single high safety repeatedly. Sometimes teams change their coverage up throughout the season, so we could track coverages by week, and then see how the opposing quarterback, how they've fared against those coverages. Remember, Lamar Jackson was ass against man coverage to start the season. Obviously, he turned that around. Also, how the quarterbacks, I have quarterback versus blitz by week, quarterback under pressure by week. We'll see these type of charts. Like there's like 20 of them. It's like quarterback versus every single thing by week. So the spreadsheets for NFL, the college football spreadsheets are pretty intense also. But the spreadsheets for NFL this year it's like 3 or 4 pages for every game. So for those of you, if you in the Discord on the left, it says NFL spreadsheets and NCAAF spreadsheets, MLB spreadsheets. They'll be shared right there. You can get that text. Also, another new thing. I'm really excited about this. This is brand new. One sec. No, that's not it. Where is it? Okay. So I have these for football this year. We're going to try to get a feel for when the sharp professional betting groups are making their moves. This is obviously a baseball game, but we're going to track when the limits increase through the week and see if we can get a feel for when they're attacking. Baseball, we know the big moves are after the limits rise to 10K and then 20K. But in football, it goes 50K, 100K, then up to 200K. So the limits are raising throughout the week. We'll try to get a feel for when the action's coming in. So we have those charts this year. Yeah, all kinds of stuff for football. So yeah, everyone, thanks for watching. If you're already subscribed and want to get added to the text message list, just let me know and I'll add you. If you're not subscribed, when you subscribe, just put your phone number in. But if you're already subscribed, just let me know and I'll add you. So everyone, Kyle, thanks for your hard work on college football. Are you profitable? Not last year, not on college. NFL, I've been profitable 2 of the last 3. But college football, no. I wasn't profitable at all last year. They're tough to beat, but I've never put more effort into anything. I'm beating these college football numbers this year, or I'm going to die trying. So, yeah, hit me up. I'll be up for a while, so hit me up if you need me. Talk to you guys later.